What is going on, guys? This is Idle, and today we're going to be looking at the ways to increase your damage output. Now, there's a lot of ways to do this. Make sure to stick to the end to see one of the easiest ways which will have the biggest impact on your DPS gain. So let's get started with one of the most important, and that's going to be upgrading your artifact. Now, there's a lot to it when it comes to artifacts. I'll get started with the most simplest one, and that's going to be your feather. So your feather has an attack stat here. So this is actually going to be base attack. If you look at any of your characters and you pull up their stats, this attack stat here is going to be their total value, but what their skills scale off of is going to be that base attack value. Attack percent, if you have attack percent on your weapon, that's scaling 32.2% of your base attack. So one of the fastest ways to upgrade your damage is going to be upgrading this feather. Now, if you're a early game player, what a lot of people recommend, and what I do recommend as well, is upgrading at least one of the purple feathers up to plus 12 or plus 16. Just make sure it has the right substats, which I'll be getting into that shortly. This will be the quickest way to boost your actual damage. And if I show you the difference between this and the one I have equipped, a non-upgraded feather is only plus 42 attack. So you're literally getting a gain of plus 190, which is a drastic increase, and that's going to help scale your other damage as well. So definitely upgrade the feathers. If you're early game and you don't have any purple, blue's not bad, these 3 stars, but in my opinion, don't invest your materials early on because you're going to need them for the 4-star and the 5-star feathers. Now, on top of that, if you're going to be investing early on, I only recommend you doing it up to either plus 4 just to get that 1 stat roll, because the damage you're gaining from the plus 3 artifacts is going to be negligent. It's not going to matter too much when you're having your gameplay. You're going to make it through content just fine. When you're going throughout the story, you're going to have 4-star artifacts dropping eventually, so you can just replace them when you find something better. So that's going to be the first point I wanted to make. Now we're going to get into actually upgrading artifacts. Now when you upgrade your artifacts, you're going to want to look for artifacts that have specific roles. By roles, I mean these substats right here. I'm going to use the one I have on Official, for example. So this Indigo Feather has Elemental Mastery, Crit Rate, and Attack. 3 desirable stats when you're building a DPS. On top of that, it's on a Berserker set, which I will get into after. But Elemental Mastery, that's going to boost up the damage of your E and your ult abilities. Crit Rate, of course, is the stat that when you hit, the higher your crit rate is, the higher odds you have of dealing double, triple, whatever your crit damage is, it's going to increase that odd. Of course, attack percent is going to scale off of your base attack, so this is going to be more attack. Early on, what I do recommend for you newer players is just focus everything on attack percent. By that, I mean this. So this flower is always going to have HP, right? The feathers is always going to have flat attack. The timepiece can be different. So see, this timepiece has attack percent. This one has HP percent. This one has energy recharge. Early on, I do recommend finding one that has attack percent. You don't have to go to plus 8 like I did. I just have been having like crappy luck with, these rolls here on the artifact. So I just took it to plus 8 for now, and also had a little attack there. And it's on a Berserker timepiece as well for the set. But this will increase your attack percent. Also, when you're going into the goblets, I'll find one as well that has attack percent here, or some kind of damage boost. As you can see, I found something that had physical damage bonus, and within the substat had Elemental Mastery and attack percent. So this will also help boost the damage to Official. And if you can't, it's just finding attack percent is fine. Like this one right here, I just went by. Attack, crit rate, this one wouldn't have been bad either. But keep in mind, you can do stuff like that. It's just don't upgrade it all the way. I say plus 4. I made a mistake early on, and it kind of had to do with my luck in getting these 4 stars, but honestly, stay at +4. You don't have to go to +8. It's not going to change anything. It's just the ones I'm rolling right now kind of suck ass, to be honest. So let's continue on. So the main stats you're always going to want to look for in this substats section is going to be attack percent, flat attack, crit rate, crit damage, and elemental mastery. All of those substats will boost your damage output. Of course, if it's a artifact that has flat attack, you won't find flat attack in the sub because it's already primary there. But if it's one that has attack percent, you'll find flat attack, but you won't find attack percent. So you'll only have the stat once. So just make sure you're balancing the artifact with how you want the character to turn out with. Don't put, if you want to build a DPS, do not put, you know, an artifact that has, for example, like this, defense and defense, right? Sure, it does have attack percent. This might be good on someone like Noelle because it'll help scale both ways, but don't put anything that has defense and defense percent or HP and HP percent. That's not going to benefit your DPS carry. Now we can talk about artifact set bonuses. So every artifact has a family, and when you equip more than one of the artifacts, you'll have this set bonus. So as you can see here, I have a Resolution of Sojourner, and that 2-piece set's giving me 18% more attack. The Berserker, the 2-piece set, is giving me 12% more crit rate. Note, you do not need to worry about set bonuses early game. Sure, they're nice if you can get them, but what I'm telling you is do not focus on it. If you do want to increase your damage output early game, the best things to do is first off upgrade that feather. If you have a 4-star feather, if you found one that you like, to +16 or +12, and focus on attack percent artifacts. That's going to get you your biggest gain. It does not matter if you're sacrificing those attack percent to put on defense percent on the artifact just to get a crit rate of 12%. No, you're missing out on way too much attack percent. 27% just to get, for example, like an 18%. I would rather take the 27% any day. So this is just one of the sets, Berserker, that will give you crit rate. There's a bunch of other sets for artifacts that boost all kinds of stats. For example, you're looking at the Instructor's Cap, right? The Instructor set will give you a 2-piece Elemental Mastery 80. This is great on characters like Mona, right? The 4-piece set is going to increase all party members' Elemental Mastery by 120 after using your skill. So great set if you're going to use it, especially on like a support. I sometimes use this if I'm going to use it on a character like Venti. So Venti will set up the skills with the swirl, and then I'll swap into either Official, or if I'm going to swap into Diluc, and then do DPS from there. There's other ones as well that do specific. Let me see if I can find them here for you guys. There's other ones that do specific elemental damage boosts for each set. There's ones that do, like, for example, Amino or Pyro, and that's gonna increase that specific element damage. You can go with those as well when you start getting into sets later on in the game. As I mentioned early on, don't worry about it. Stick to just worrying about that attack percent and that feather, getting that feather ranked up and spreading amongst the substats of like attack percent, crit rate, crit damage, elemental mastery if you can find them. If you cannot, don't worry about it, but you're gonna come across so many of these that will have one of the substats you need. Right now, let's get into the next way of getting your damage up, and that's gonna be your weapon. So I'm gonna switch over to Diluc here. We're gonna pull up his weapon. Now there's many ways that a weapon can increase your damage. I'm gonna start off with the basic one, which is enhancing your weapon. So every time you level your weapon up by feeding it additional copies, as you can see here, the base attack will increase. Then the more you rank it up from 51 to 52 to 53, every level will increase that base attack. And once again, that's going to be base attack. So every attack you're doing, every ability that has attack percentage, every teammate that has a skill that based off increases your damage based off of your attack will increase your damage output. Now going back into the weapon, of course you can ascend it, then you can also refine it. When you get identical weapons, you will come to refine, drop the weapon in here, pay your little fee, and refine it. What that's going to do is offer a rank up. Based on the weapon, that's going to give you a certain percentage of a rank. So for example, we're going to use the Wolfish Tracker of the Wolf's Gravestone. So This passive says increases attack by 20%. That 20% is going to scale off your base attack, which is always important. This is going to increase the party member's attack by 40% when you're fighting a weaker enemy. But as you look here, if I fed it another Wolf's Gravestone, it's going to bump that attack up to 25%, and then bump teammates' attack up by 50%. So that's going to be a damage boost not only to Diluc, but everyone in my party as well. Every single weapon in the game has refinements that you can do to them to make them stronger. Let me see, like I'll pull up a 3-star weapon here, right? So we have the Debate Club, which is honestly a great 3-star option if you don't have a good 4-star weapon for Diluc, or if for even most of the other characters in the game. But this one says right here, you know, attacks on hit dealing additional 60% of attack damage in a small area. This will scale up. So if I were to come refine it, as you see the next rank, that goes up to 75%. You're getting a 15% damage increase just by feeding one more Debate Club into this one. So make sure you're always trying to refine your weapons if you have additional copies, enhancing them, ranking them up. What I'm going to show you here as well, if we look at, let me see here. I'm going to use 2 of the same weapons to show you guys an example. So we have, we'll do the Debate Club, right? So you see both of these Debate Clubs. If I were to enhance this one right here, sure, right? I don't need to do that much. Oh, I'm being a noob. Oh, there we go. Okay. So if I were to do this one, I'm pressing enhance, right? So I'm upgrading this Debate Club. Now, the Debate Club went from base attack 39 to base attack 45, just with 2 levels. So if you were to compare this Debate Club, I equipped it, and this Debate Club, you got a 6 base attack gain. It doesn't seem like a lot, but when you're ranking it up all the way to plus 20, it's going to be a lot. Like, look at the base attack on this. I know this is a 5-star weapon, but if both of them were 5-star, this will just be a little bit higher. But as you can see, the difference would be huge either way from an upgraded and a non-upgraded weapons. So always make sure you're enhancing and refining your weapon, guys. That's going to be a very key important thing to do so you guys can increase your DPS. Now, the next thing on my list here, something very simple. You guys already know, always level up your character. Every time you get a character from one level to the next, your base attack stat is going to increase. Let me see if I could find someone who I want to get up here. I'll do Sucrose. Sucrose is a pretty underrated unit. So let's say I were to feed Sucrose to level 1, right? From level 1 to level 2. As you can see, her base attack went from 37 to 39. That's a 2 base attack increase. Of course, you have your max HP and your defense also increasing as well with that, but always be trying to always upgrade your characters when you can. Level them up to the max level when you guys have the material. Make sure you're farming that keyline deposit so you can get that material as well to rank up your characters before you run out. Also, don't diversify your experience too much. I kind of did that here with my characters. You should only try to stick to 2 in the beginning, but at the end of the day, it's your game. Have fun. I spent quite a bit in the game, so that's how I was able to pull a lot of these 5-stars. So I diversified the experience I gained from the books with these characters. And if I focus down to 1 or 2, which you should, I would have been a lot higher level with the 2 characters that I did focus on. Okay, so let's get into one of the more important ones that not a lot of people know about. Most do, but this is going to be formulating your team to have 2 times of one element. What I mean by that, so when you go, get out of here, go to party setup. Right here, it's elemental resonance. Click on this. Based on who's in your party, you're gonna have a little bonus. I have a unique party right now just because I was playing around with some units. The little bonus I'm getting here is all elemental res plus 15%. One of the major ones that I would recommend going to is this one right here, Fervent Flames. If you have 2 pyro units, you're getting attack plus 25%. You don't even have to use the unit. Let's say, you know, you have a Diluc and maybe you have a Bennett level 1 or an Amber. You can just keep them in the back of your party, but now your Diluc is doing an extra 25% damage as well as the other party members you have. This is going to apply to everyone in the party. See right here, when you have a full party, you receive the element's resonance effect. That corresponds to the elemental types present in the party. So that's a great way to boost your damage right in the start, just by pairing up 2 pyro units in your party. There's other ways you can do it as well. There's different elements. For example, if you're going to have 2 Kyro units on your team, increases crit rates against enemies that are frozen or affected by Kyro by 15%. More crits equal more damage. So make sure you guys pull it up here. You'll be able to see all other combinations. Again, I went to party setup and right here elemental resonance, and you'll be able to pull up the list here that you can do damage. Now, the next one we'll go to is elemental reactions. This is very simple. A lot of people know about this. A lot of the time, some people just want to have their main character out and they just want to do, you know, all these attacks with them, and they don't want to switch their characters because they're like, oh, waifu, look at these cheeks, you know. But if you want if you guys want to get that fat, juicy, chunky numbers, you're gonna want to have elemental reaction. So I'm gonna make all these guys wet because, you know, I'm gonna always be doing that to these men. I'm gonna drop down my bird, and you see that electro charge number? That was an extra 2k plus the damage that Oz dropped. If I were to just drop Oz, it would just be a flat amount. With the effect of the monsters being wet plus Official's electro element, you have the reaction. I'll do that again with another combination. So I'm gonna drop Oz. Oh, never mind. Oz is just gonna kill him. Let me come over here. I'll bring Oz over here. I'll switch into Diluc. And overloaded happened. So now you can see the damage increased. Instead of just Diluc doing a basic attack, the overload added additional damage as well. So this is something you could do right off the beginning when you have characters that form that elemental reaction. You can pull up all the elemental reactions on the wiki, on Reddit. You could see them all there. But you just saw 2 of them that I was able to show you guys right there, overloaded, and the one between Fischl and Mona. Also, there's Vaporize as well. So if I'm gonna do like fire, switch into Mona, drop this, and then just Vaporize them. So a lot of different ways you could output more damage. That's just a few of them right there. So always make sure you guys have different elements in your party if you can. This way you can always be formulating that elemental reaction. Now, let's go back into weapons right here, because I did honestly just miss something. And that's gonna be the substat underneath the weapon. So every weapon, as I mentioned before, has a base attack, but there's a substat. And with the substat, when you rank up the weapon, the substat's also going to increase. So for example, Mona has a Skyward Atlas, and the substat is attack percent. And that's going to help increase your damage as well. So ranking up the weapon will also upgrade the substat, giving you more damage. So when you're looking for weapons, see, for example, this one has Elemental Mastery, which would help out. Crit damage on the Wisp, which is, I recommend, a really, really great 4-starred Catalyst. Let me see if I can find one. Crit rate. Oh man, all these are. There we go, HP percent. So, Thrilling Tales of the Dragon Slayer. So, if you were to use this and you were to rank this up, you're getting base attack and HP percent. If you're building your Mona support, sure. If you have nothing else better to use, sure. But why not if you can? If you have Twin Nephrite, you know, if you have Favinus Codex, use something that'll give you additional damage. And the reason I say Favinus Codex is because Mona at level 70 does get a passive that turns energy recharge into damage. We'll get into that right now, actually, and the next part of the video, and the final part, and the most important tip that I do have here for you guys today to upgrade your damage on your characters is going to be Constellation and Talents. A lot of you guys don't keep up with that, and I know that because I see you in the comments. You guys be lurking, you guys be commenting on other people's videos saying, hey, how is your character doing so much damage with the same ability as me? Hey, why am I not doing so much damage? It's because you guys haven't upgraded your talents. Like, look at this. I'm slacking too. I need to upgrade some of these, but I'm not the greatest example. I just started using Mona, to be honest. It was just like a recent pull for me. But look over here. See? Now we're talking. If you look at my official, there we go. So, get back to the subject. I'll first start off with Constellation. Reason why is because I maxed out official because I'm a dirty dolphin. If you go to your Constellation, every character has their own different constellation. Within the constellation, you can call them abilities or passives, just some bonuses Mihoyo wanted to give you guys so you guys could do more damage. So for example, Constellation level 1, even when Oz is not present, official through her Raven will deal 22% more of attack damage when Oz fires. So that's already just an additional 22% you're getting out of nowhere. Now you're probably like, Idol, how do you unlock Constellations? Well, very simple. When you get a duplicate of a character, you'll come right to the Constellation tab. Let me see if I have a duplicate to show you guys. Do I have any? Okay, I don't have any, but pretty much you'll click on the empty field right here, because see, this one's glowing because I have a Constellation. You'll click on the next one. There'll be a number 1 highlighted here, just like how this is highlighted in red. So you'll know you'll have a Constellation upgrade. You'll come here. You'll have 1 out of 1. You'll just activate, and that'll unlock it. So back to official. Where's she? There we go. So upgraded damage, 22% extra. These will stack up. Look, I'm going to go through officials right now. An additional 200%. AoE's increased 50. This will increase the talent. I'm going to get to that in a second. This last one is really what makes official a great S tier unit. This will keep Oz out for 2 seconds additional. So that's some extra damage you're getting from there. And any character who is with Oz present is going to deal 30% of official's attack. Here's the keyword, electro damage. If you rewind and go back to where we were talking about elemental synergies and reactions, if I have a Diluc out and I'm swinging, doing my E-spamming, because that's what he does best, I'm going to be swinging for Pyro and Electro, which is going to get you overloaded automatically. Really, really great unit. But that's besides the point. As you can see here, that's increasing my damage. So stay on your constellations, upgrade your constellations. No matter what the constellation is, it's going to give you additional damage. See, Chongyun, 50% extra with each of the 3 blades that he gets. Most of the characters, except if they're support, will have, some supports might have them, but most of them won't. But if you're doing like a DPS character, if you want to build up your damage on for your like Elisa, all of these or most of them will have some way to get some additional damage, or either create like another elemental reaction for you as well. Now we'll go into talents, which is like the farmable way, because I do understand in constellations you'll have to get a duplicate, but with talents, this is like a farmable way for you to get that rank up. So talents are another passive that your character has. So I'll go to official. This is official's normal attack. This is official's E, summoning Oz. This is official's ult, Midnight Phantasmagoria. Hopefully I pronounced that right. So as you level up, I think you have to hit level 15 for the first upgrade. You'll need certain materials. So let me go back to Mona, because that's where I was slacking. This will be a good example. You will click level up. See, for example, I could get Mona's up. So I would need a talent level up material. For Mona, it's the Teachings of Resistance. This is the days I would have to farm the domain in particular, the Frozen Abyss, to get her material. And this is dropped from Whopper Flowers. As you can see here, from level 1 to level 2, this is going to increase my auto attack. So the normal attack, the charged attack, right here. So go back to level up. The one hit combo, I'm getting a 3% increase roughly, a little bit less, 2.8. 2 hit, 3 hit, literally the whole auto combo is going to increase. The charge attack's going up 11% in damage. And this is going to increase the other damage as well if I'm jumping down. So let me get that upgraded, because I have been slacking on her. But as you guys can see here, getting a big increase in damage from auto attacks and charged attacks. See, I can't do anything else, right? No. Okay, perfect. So always make sure you guys are staying on these talents and always upgrading them when you can. As soon as you hit that adventure rank, always be checking on them to make sure you have the available materials. If not, when can you farm them? Where can you farm them? If you go on Reddit, there's a bunch of great pictures that you can use and guides that people created that you can know when your character's material is coming up in the dungeon. So this way you're not missing out on the material you need to upgrade those talents. And this is one, literally, as I said, adventure rank 15 you can get start working on. You don't need duplicates, you don't need anything. It's literally free upgrades so you can do more damage. I hope this video helps you guys out. I hope you guys actually learned something. If you haven't, that'll mean a lot here to me, especially if you weren't aware of anything that wasn't on the list. But I want to make sure you smash that like and subscribe button for more Genshin Impact videos. Comment down your favorite artifact set you've gotten so far and why. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.